We have a really special guest in the studio with us this morning. He's a bulldog named Stanley, along with one of his humans. And Stanley works to help kids across the metro learn about acceptance and inclusion for all creatures, big and small. Deborah Pack joins me today. Stanley's in kind of a chariot. He travels around like this because his legs don't work.
That's right. The back of his legs are deformed, so this chair seems to be the most comfortable for Stanley, so we drive it around with him.
Now you'll notice if Doug, our photographer, zooms in on Stanley's nose, he's got a bilateral cleft lip. And something that you might not know, and Deborah, you were telling me this, is that usually these animals are put down right when they're born.
That's
Why?
right. Alexis, a lot of the people, they don't want to deal with animals like Stanley because there's a lot of time and money that it has to be invested into them. A lot of the breeders will make that choice of putting them down, or they'll think that there's no one that want to adopt them.
And you do.
Yes.
And
yes.
Stanley is now an ambassador for the Smile Train. So tell us about the Smile Train and the wonderful work you do with Stanley to help kids.
The Smile Train, they help over 170,000 children a year. And we wanted to do something to be able to reach our children here, but also the children around the world. So Stanley runs a Smile Train kissing booth. Aww. And he kisses people for $1. And that money goes to help these little children, and it's $250 to help one child to receive a free surgery from the Smile Train. So Stanley's helped 7 children so far.
So he has changed the lives of 7 children and counting.
Exactly.
And he travels around to schools and various events. What about the Stand Up for Stanley? Tell us about that.
Stand Up for Stanley, that part of it is to bring awareness to animals like Stanley, because we found out that there's no accountability at birth or death, and people are not aware that this happens. It happens in cows and horses and sheep and goats and cats and dogs. And we went and had a local and state proclamation passed for Stand Up for Stanley to bring an awareness to our area and to our state, and now we're trying to get to the national level.
It takes a lot of care to take care of Stanley. You fed him with a sponge for the first few months after he was born?
His original owner fed him with the sponge, and then when we got him, he was able to eat dog food or puppy food. So what I had to do is moisten it up and then put it in his mouth a certain way until he had his surgery.
And he also has brothers and sisters living with him that you've also rescued. Some of them are deaf?
Yes. We originally took the deaf ones in. We taught them sign language in my classroom, the little kids did.
The little kids taught the dog sign language?
Yes.
And how does that work?
They just use basic commands, but then they got to interchange with an animal that was different in their eyes, but it also taught them the inside of acceptance. Then when we got Stanley, they got to see the outside of acceptance, and they got the visual look of what acceptance is.
Wow, that's so special. It just makes you realize how many good people there are out there like you guys that are rescuing animals and also changing the lives of children. If people want to donate to any of the causes, when's the next public appearance for Stanley?
Stanley's going to be this coming Saturday from 11 to 2. Stanley will be there, but it's actually from 11 to 4 at the Berry Road Savers. And he'll have his kissing booth there. And if you want to kiss, Stanley's ready for you.
Oh my gosh. And he's so gentle. He is just the most gentle soul. So be sure to visit him. Give him a big smooch. Who wouldn't want to kiss this face? I mean, look at that face. Deborah, thank you so much. And Stanley, thank you for being here and being a good sport. We've just been loving on you all morning. Really great to meet both of you.
Thank you, Alexa.